Yo, what's up? How you doing? My name is Nick Bruner. I have been day trading now since 2020 in March when everything fell apart. I was working in a restaurant at the time and I had some savings and I was really interested in the markets up until that point. And then I came across this thing called day trading. Um, so yeah, I've been doing it for 4 years now. I have been, well, 4 years coming up in March. I have made over 100K, which, you know, I don't know how you're going to verify that, but that's cool because I'm not trying to sell you anything. This is purely just to document kind of my journey and show you kind of like the things that I found that I did not expect going into it, and the little kind of booby trap surprises that this field seems to be full of. It is full of booby traps, and the and honestly, I'm not even that great of a trader. Just complete full disclosure, I think I'm kind of like a mid-level, very defensive, sort of sometimes clever, but I tend to shut down when I use the size that I want to use. And so I've pretty much kind of averaged along at about, somewhere between 30 to 40K a year in profits. And because it's such like a low income level, because I'm very frugal with my money, I've been kind of able just to like live off of that, minus in 2021 where I had a really big loss, and I ended up just getting a restaurant job for a little bit to kind of supplement income, because it was actually, I had a flat year trading. So aside from that, I've been doing it as my full-time thing, and I'm very experienced with it now in the small cap market. So other markets I don't know much about. Like, I'm not a Bitcoin trader. I don't trade options. I don't trade large cap stocks. Basically, I trade radioactive garbage. And what I do is I try to get in and get out on a very quick time frame. I don't trust these stocks, and moreover, I have a hard time trusting myself with the read on these stocks because they tend to be very volatile, and even a small position relatively can get you in trouble, or create a big a profit loss variance. So a big win or a big loss, just for simplicity. But first thing I'd like to talk about is the thing that struck me at the end of the first year, which nobody really like fully explained. There weren't any like warning labels on the packages. In fact, this thing, you're kind of like going out in the Wild West, and that's the wash sale. I think if you're familiar with trading, you're probably familiar with the wash sale rule. But basically, it's a mechanism where the government makes sure that you're not creating like tax fraud at the end of the year by selling your securities and buying them back January 1st and taking that tax loss from the 30th and then like starting a new position. And if I didn't explain that clearly, just Google what is a wash sale. And what is the wash sale rule. And for people who don't have a specialty tax classification called mark to market, this rule is a pain in the butt, complete pain in the butt. And it was one of the biggest annoyances that I had, and I think I was on the smaller end of it. To give you some context, I had $15,000 of extra income that I did not actually make, that I had to report to the IRS because of the wash sale rule. Now, that income, I did end up getting that adjusted later on, after I changed mark to market, after I waited a little bit as, like the IRS processed all the paperwork, and I did end up getting that money in tax that I had to pay. I did get that tax back to me, the overpaid tax. But at the time, it was something like $6,000 extra that I had to pay in taxes. So I did not expect this, basically. That's the first thing that I did not expect. And as a corollary to go along with the wash sale rule, the taxes, the complexity of day trading taxes themselves, from getting the mark to market classification, from how you're treated uniquely, sort of like a business, but not quite a business, and whether you're doing it under an LLC or your sole prop, or and you're doing it through a Schedule C, whatever. It's just very complex, and you do get a lot of benefits because they kind of treat you like a business, but the complexity is very high. And I calculated it last year, my third year doing taxes, I was still spending about 30 hours to go through all of the paperwork and understand it, and to figure out what was going on, and then to like make sure everything was correct. And now, so you might ask, why don't I just pay someone? Well, generally, tax preparers for niche subjects like this are very expensive. And if you're not making a ton of money, it's just not worth it. Like, I think there's something like $200 an hour or something, and maybe they can do it a little bit faster, but like, I'm not making that. And it's like a cash flow issue. I would be paying more to the tax preparer than I would be to to pay the taxes. Like, that's kind of like where it's at. So, until I'm making like over 100K a year, at least, in trading profits, F it, I don't need to do that. And basically, I know it so well, like, that, I don't know, like, it's almost like I take a little bit of ownership now. It's kind of like a waste of time, because maybe I could have my time spent doing something else, but again, it's very expensive to do that. And so that was another thing that I did not expect going into day trading, was how complex the taxes are. And then even if you were to say, okay, I don't want this other tax classification, I just want to go do this just normal accounting purposes, and just run everything through like my normal investment account tax treatment. The problem with that is, if you take a loss in a year at trading or investing, you're only able to write off $3,000 of that loss per year. And there's no business expenses that you get, or from what I understand, they're very limited. So, and this is not tax advice, this is just my own personal understanding of it, from reading hours and hours and hours and hours and checking references and doing all this stuff. I'm not a tax professional, so don't fucking listen to me. Excuse my language. But it's very complex. It's even to the point where like institutions like H&R Block and like different like more retail level tax preparers don't know the nuance of the tax code and how to handle this. And so that's also what I found. So you have to go to these kind of specialty tax preparers. And, it just is what it is. But it's part of the game. And it was very frustrating for me at first. And I remember like one day just like lifting weights outside of my house, very frustrated as I'm starting to figure all this stuff out. Just doing my imaginary kettlebells in my hand. And I just realized that like, one, I didn't want to like have like be like a victim about it and be like, oh, poor me. I was like, this is just like cost of entry. This is part of the game. And really it is. So that's just how I handled it. And I will have more on the the hidden little pitfalls of, or pitfalls, I don't know, that's not a fun name, but the booby traps, the day trading booby traps, we love those because it's all a day trading. But yeah, I'll have more of that coming up, and nice talking to you. Make sure to like, subscribe for more fun, insightful stuff from my experience, and talk to you later. Bye.